The RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League is on the air. RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals, proudly brings to you the Nightmare 230 from Iowa Speedway. This broadcast also being brought to you by TDA Motorsports, proudly sponsored by the Disabled American Veterans, DAV, and all volunteer fleet of non-critical medical transport for America's veterans. On more information on how you can get involved, go to dav.org. This broadcast also being brought to you by David Llewellyn and the DHL Express, Hoot Baker, Robert Lacavara and Convergent Composites, with promotional consideration paid for by Motorsports Graphic Designs. For all your in-sim graphical needs, you got something going through your mind, you want to see it on your race car, Motorsports Graphic Designs. The Nightmare 230 from Iowa Speedway iRacing version, IR05s tonight, hitting the track. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight. I'm joined with my new broadcast partner, Mr. Rob Payne, working his way into the session right now. Rob, welcome to the ISL.
Thank you, Tarzan. It's good to be here.
Well, it's good to have you here. It's good to finally get somebody that's willing to step up in the booth on at least a semi-regular basis. About 3 minutes left in the hot lap session right now. Defending DW12 Series champion Mike Whitaker going quick time. Rookie David Gervais currently sitting second quick. Creighton Carter, David Llewellyn, and Robert Hill Jr. rounding out your top five. So some of the usual suspects mixed with some new names sitting towards the top of the leaderboard here at Iowa. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the facility here, it is a 9/10 of a mile track, so not sure how this is going to play out in Newton, Iowa. We were originally going to call it Children of the Corn 230, but we decided to go against that, considering I personally hate that movie. But 65 degrees under the lights here. Zero wind, zero humidity, zero fog. And 100% fun going to be had tonight. Whitaker currently sitting at the top of the leaderboard, 12 thousandths of a second over David Gervais, who is 11 thousandths over third place Creighton Carter. I'm looking down through the leaderboard, and from first to 16th. I'll say that again, from 1st to 16th, with Bob Lacavara, you're at 1/10 of a second. Actually, Mike Erder now bumps that to 17th. We are at 1/10 of a second between 1st and 17th. That is insane. The fact that this field is just going to be that close, and we're only in hot lap sessions too, so think about what's going to happen when, we get cranking, full tilt boogie in race trim. So, something to keep an eye on later. I'm being told that it's a little bit tricky getting up to speed. The way that this car is geared, and there's no real way around it, it's next to impossible to get it to not, for lack of a better term, be ass happy when you pull the trigger. It kind of is what it is. It's something that the drivers are going to have to, be mindful of as the race gets underway. And we've seen it in the past. Cautions breed cautions breed cautions. So, again, something to be mindful of. So, qualifying, getting ready to start here, just about 10 seconds before the red flag's going to come out to end the hot lap session. So, Rob, for the viewers that are just joining us, can you give us a little background on your iRacing history?
Yeah, I don't have too much. Just started getting into it. Alex Green, the host of the series, has been really wanting me to tag along and join him for this, so I agreed to finally do it. It's been good so far. So I've only got a few races under my belt, but during my street stock series, I've placed top 10 almost every race. I think there's only one race I haven't placed top 10 yet, and of those, almost half of them are top 5. So I'm really looking forward to getting up in the league, up in the series, up in the licenses, and join you guys here in the IndyCar Speedway, IndyCar Series, correction, at some point in time.
IndyCar Speedway League, you had it right the first time.
All right, sweet.
But qualifying getting underway, I'm noticing the first handful of cars making their way out on the track, so we're going to see time start to trickle in here. 18-second lap times is just insane in an IndyCar. Basically, if you think about it, the average adult person can hold their breath for 2 minutes. So when you really let that sink in, you know, you're talking 4 laps.
Yeah.
Without having to actually breathe. That's just beyond me right now at this point. So first handful of time starting to trickle in. Quentin Young going quick time so far. 2/10 quicker as Mike Erder lays one down. So Quentin Young currently 7 thousandths to the good. Dylan Lucas, now Bob Lacavara, 13 thousandths back off of Erder. So, and David Llewellyn blistering one at a 28-2, 28-2-7 in qualifying. You know, that's really hauling the mail when you let that kind of sink in, that you're going just under a mile in just over 18 seconds.
That is pretty crazy.
You know, we were watching I was watching the speeds in practice. You know, these guys are hauling off into turn number 3 at, 180 miles an hour. And they're not slowing down much for the corners.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It doesn't look like there's much slowing down at all. This is going to be a very close, very tight race.
Well, the trick is going to be getting the car up to speed. You know, and that's something that is going to be inherently an issue with the shorter tracks, because this car, it's like lighting a bottle rocket.
Yeah.
And stuffing said bottle rocket, or strapping said bottle rocket to a Hot Wheels. That's about the only way I can describe it. About the only car that I know of that accelerates faster than this is the Williams Formula 1 car. But that has traction control. This doesn't.
Yep, that is correct. Yep.
So we're just about 90 seconds away from the pre-race drivers meeting. David Llewellyn still sitting top of the leaderboard, or top of the qualifying board, I should say. 18.277. Chris Parkman 18.281. So 3 thousandths to the good for Llewellyn right now. 2 of the old guard, 2 drivers who have been eligible for every chase that the ISL has hosted. Actually, I believe the only 2 drivers that can say that in the league. So, no, I take that back. The other one is Cody Eldred, currently sitting 8th quick. But
just got pushed to 9th, actually.
You're right, he just got pushed to 9th. So, Llewellyn, Parkman, Young, Bauer, Whitaker, Carpenter, Carter, Dupree, Eldred, and Graff rounding out your top 10. Just about 30 seconds before we're going to kick it down trackside. Not sure who's going to be doing the pre-race drivers meeting, because Alex is not in the session. Would like to thank Joe Morganti, sitting next door right now in the race control booth. How you doing, Joe? welcome back to the ISL. We have missed you. Joe Morganti offering to step up to race control tonight because normal Tuesday night race controller Jason Coburn actually is taking the kids out trick-or-treating. So happy Halloween, everybody. So now we go live trackside. Well, since Alex isn't here, I'd like to thank Joe Morganti for agreeing to race control for us tonight. Welcome Robert Payne to the broadcast team. Most of y'all know the rules by now. No fake pitting, no scrubbing your tires. Please cowboy up, and if you think you caused the wreck, just say, hey, that was my bad. We're asking that you call your pit before the exit of 2 on the lap that you plan to pit on. Please be on the apron going into 3 before you enter turn 3. Please be on the apron if you plan to hot pit. Please stay below the yellow line coming out of the pits until you get onto the back straightaway. That's something that Joe's going to be keeping an eye out for us. And other than that, just remember that these cars are like strapping a bottle rocket to a Hot Wheels. They accelerate insanely, but it's real easy to spin the tires when you're trying to get up to speed. So just feel it out the first few laps, because we all know you can't win it on the first lap, but you sure as hell can make your night a whole lot more difficult. Thanks, everybody, for coming out, and enjoy the action.
I got a second to use the restroom.
You have 3 minutes before we go live, sir.
Okay. Hey, mine's showing that I'm disqualified because I was doing donuts after I did my qualifying.
When did we change the fast repair limit to just 1?
I don't know. Alex set the session up.
Well, there's only 1 fast repair.
It's because he has a set for his truck league. His truck league only has 1 fast repair.
Well, he's done poke the puppy on that.
Well, something to keep mindful of tonight. Thanks for pointing that out, David. 1 fast repair. So use it wisely, gentlemen. So, Robert, that's a new monkey wrench thrown into the works. Normally we get 3 fast repairs in this particular series, but there was a slight oops setting up the session, and we're now down to 1. So drivers are going to have to be real mindful of that.
Yeah, that's pretty dangerous.
Say that one more time, please.
Well, that's going to be pretty dangerous. 1 mic. Got something going on at the house real quick.
Fair enough.
Be right back.
So, you got about 90 seconds left before we start to grid it up. Again, would like to remind everybody you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, proud sponsor of the Indy Speedway League, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, we ask that you go to RobertsTechJobs.com. Be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you.
All right, I'm back on station.
So, starting up on point, front row is going to be David Llewellyn. Joining him on the outside of row number 1 is going to be Chris the Punisher Parkman. Quentin Young and Gary Bauer are going to start row number 2. Row 3 is going to go to Mike Whitaker and Mark Carpenter, with row 4 going to Creighton Carter and Isaiah Dupree. Cody Eldred and defending IR05 Series champion Tyler Graff are going to start in row number 5, with row 6 going to Dylan Lucas and Robert Hill Jr. Mike Erder and Nate Dean are going to make up row number 7. Kevin Pasquich and Bob Lacavara in row 8. Johnny Antonucci and Tony Rice in row 9, with row 10 going to David Gervais and Mr. Hoot Baker. Tyler Vickery and Bill Roberts going to be going off in row 11. Bill Roberts, the last car to actually take time in qualifying. So, waiting for the grid up right now. So, I'm just going to bring the standings up so y'all can see what's going on here.
Looks like they're going to do a restart.
This is the initial start, sir. This is the they're gridding up right now.
I hear them. They're talking about. Alex said that they can do a restart if everybody wanted to do a restart, so they can get those 3 repairs back. I believe. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to do.
Okay, I should probably
Do a session.
All right. Yep. Okay. Someone said they're redoing the session.
They are redoing the session. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll just bear with us here.
All right, anybody that's still here, we're going to another session. Do not run this session. This session is not going to count. Everybody exit this session and look.
All right, yep, they just said after the session they're going to find a new one and reload everybody back in.
Anybody that's still here, we're going to a new session.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back with you.
Okay, you got it, Cody?
Thank God I had that chat on.
Yes, that was good, because I would have been going, where the hell did everybody go?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with you shortly. Bear with us here. We're going to be loading into another session, and we'll be back shortly.
Okay, that's what I was going to tell you.
Yes, sir. Thank you kindly.
Good luck, guys.
User left your channel.
Good luck to you, sir.
All right.
Bill Roberts, Mick Woods, Ronald McManus, Tony's broadcasting. I need you guys to leave the session, look for another one.
All right, so we're exiting out of that session. Bear with us, folks. Here we're just waiting for the new session to go up. They are setting up a proper session with the normal 3 fast repairs that this league normally has. But, you know, something to be mindful of. While we're waiting, you know, and let me make sure that we are... Fast repairs. There we go. Just wanted to make sure that we were still here with you, folks, so just bear with us here. Come on, where the heck is it? Discussion, no. Oh, where did they move the stuff to this time? Helps if I choose the right. There it is. That's what I was looking for.
All right, I'm gonna check on real quick the follow up on what's going on in my house real quick, and I'll be right back.
Go ahead. So we are going to give you a quick rundown of the IR05 points. Now, mind you, this is before drop weeks, so come on. Season 3. And go to standings. So no real shocker here. Currently sitting atop the leaderboard. Those that have currently punched their ticket to the chase. Chris Parkman, Ronnie Osmer, Tristan Anderson, Quentin Young, Tyler Graff, and Creighton Carter. Mark Carpenter, while he does have a win on the season, does not currently have enough participation points. And I believe Creighton Carter is in the same boat. So the two of them are going to have to run every race from here on out. So those on points right now, currently going to the chase.
All right, and I'm back.
So right now we've got 5 drivers in on wins. So the 6th driver would be Isaiah Dupree, then Kevin Pasquich, Mike Whitaker, David Llewellyn, Chris Bouchard, Cody Eldred, and Johnny Antonucci and Tyler Vickery tied for the final transfer spot. So, something to be mindful of. But it's not really a shocker who's atop the leaderboard right now. Ronnie Osmer definitely last season sent a clear message to the league that he was here and he was looking to really make a name for himself. Currently sitting just a scant 21 points behind Chris Parkman, who by himself is the winningest driver in ISL Series history across all divisions. So, waiting on, I believe, the new session is up.
Yes, new session is up.
I see that now, so we are going to be loading into that relatively shortly here. Again, you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. The Nightmare 230 from Iowa Speedway. And so far it's living up to its name. As that would have been a nightmare situation to have only one fast crew pair in the IR05s.
Yeah, that could have been crazy. Would have been one heck of a win if it ever stayed.
Well, they're going to throw the session out completely post-session. They're just going to delete it so that because we've had oops happen in the past, but
thank God that was caught before.
Yes, that was a good catch by David Llewellyn. As I am currently loading into the session, so please just bear with us, folks. Kinda. You want to connect. Oh.
All right, so okay, now that this has happened, are they going to requal again, or are they going to try to?
They're basically going to have to requal.
All right.
Let me fire up that so I can make sure what they're doing here. It looks like, yeah, there's going to be a 10 minutes of practice, which we're currently underway, about halfway through that right now. So these guys are, it should be the exact same.
Just a fair warning, you need to lift when you're on the inside. When you're on the inside of somebody else. Lift. Like, off the throttle. Not completely, just enough to make it around the corner. Just full throttle?
Okay, so minor inconvenience is happening already. Quentin Young sitting top of the leaderboard currently, 18.274, so a little bit quicker for Young. And we're watching him, I'm watching the telemetry right now. These guys are cranking off into turn 3 north of 180 miles an hour. And just because we can, we are going to go on board. Let's see. We are going to go cockpit cam with Mr. Robert Hill Jr. So this is what Robert Hill Jr. is seeing. This is coming through the tri-oval section, hauling off into turn 1, 180 miles an hour. And you hear him just burp out of the throttle. He shoots it down the back straightaway again. 178 miles an hour. Slight burp to get it to take a bite. 180, 181 in the slipstream. So, and this is what a stock car guy is doing. Robert Hill Jr. is, some of you who followed the broadcasting, is a regular in the Monday Night RTFT League, and actually finished on the podium last night. So good on him for that. Looking to get the double up this week by, pulling one off here at Iowa in the open wheel stuff. So, yeah, definitely fun and excitement to be had as we're just following along here. And we're going to go back to our friend, the scenic stuff around the track.
Dave Dupree's got the new fastest time right now at 18.196.
As Robert Hill Jr. with some draft assist goes low 18.2. The draft is good for probably half a tenth. I dare say that that's probably what you're looking at as far as what the draft can do for you here at Iowa. Just making sure that everybody got brought over. Bill Roberts just rolling out of the pits now. We're going to reopen our good friend Trading Paints, and those of you who have followed broadcasts in the past know the love-hate relationship I have with the app that they have. I love to hate it. Because it never works for me. And when it does work, it works only when it chooses to work. So,
yeah, I do wish they'd update that app a little bit, make it a little more convenient.
Well, every time they do update the app, it just completely throws a monkey wrench in the works, because they never tell you until after you're already in the session and you go to fire up the app to make sure you're seeing everybody's paints. Oh, you need to update the app. Well, why couldn't you guys have sent a notice to the iRacing page that, hey, Trading Paints, you need to update?
Yeah, it's not something they need to start working together on, especially since they're so widely used.
Well, especially considering that Trading Paints is owned, last I knew, it was owned by the first group, which is the parent company of iRacing to begin with. If I'm wrong, I'd like to apologize. But anyways, I digress. As we're watching turn 3 right now. 3 and 4 as cars go cranking by. So, and for those of you who were looking for the USUC Sprint Car Series race last night, the league actually asked to not have that shown because they were having some technical difficulties with the Infield Legends Oval, which, not the one that's on screen right now, but you'll see it appear off of the turn 4 cam, and I'll point it out to you when it does appear, as we're watching from the flag stand right now. And that is the Front Stretch Legends Oval, which is basically a glorified microd track if you boil it all down. If you look towards the top of the screen, you'll see the scoring pylon. If you look to the left of that, you'll see the pits for the Infield Legends Oval. But the cars starting to make their way out on track right now to crank off some qualifying laps as we get ready to requalify this piece. There is the Infield Legends Oval. If you look towards the top right around the 1 to 2 o'clock, that is the Infield Oval there, just what you saw in screen. One of the most fun short tracks in all of iRacing, in my personal opinion. As time's, again, starting to trickle in, we're qualifying. Creighton Carter 18.4. Kevin Paskowicz, 18.4. Mark Carpenter going 18.3. Some of the big names still not cranking off their lap shot. Isaiah Dupree going 18.3. Lucas cranking off an 18.3. Paskowicz now going 18.3. So we've got a handful of cars in the 18.3s already. Let's see who's going to be the first one to go 18.2. And there it is. No real surprise there. Chris the Punisher Parkman, winningest driver in the ISL history. Still without the coveted championship. Had some personal issues that he had to take care of during last season's chase and had to withdraw. But defending IR05 Series champion Tyler Graff now getting bumped down to third from Mike Erder, currently sitting third quick. As Llewellyn going 18.2. So let the bumping begin, kids. As we're going to bring the standings up so you can watch what we're watching. Parkman, Llewellyn, Erder, Graff, Dupree, Gary Bauer cranking off one going low 18.3s. As the bumping continues. Currently 22 cars have taken time. Again, Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you, joined by my new broadcast partner for the open wheel stuff, Mr. Robert Payne. Joe Morganti over in the race control booth. Though, thanks, Joe, for helping out tonight. Much appreciated, sir. So the only driver in the session right now to have not taken time is going to be Mick Wood. So 23 cars slated to go off in this one. As Parkman, Llewellyn, Bauer, Erder, Graff, Dupree, Lucas, Young, Paskowicz, Carpenter, Dean, Whitaker, Lacavara, Carter, Hill, Baker, Antonucci, Rice, Gervais, Eldred, Vickery, and Bill Roberts rounding out the cars that actually have taken time in qualifying. So, Robert, I'm noticing as I'm going through the licensing that everybody has, I'm noticing that yours is still that fire engine red color. Have you decided what direction you'd like to go as far as your iRacing licensing career goes?
Yes, actually, I do want to get up there and try to get that A license. I want to go ahead and grab that. I actually just got this game literally about a week ago, give or take, and I'll run a race or two a day because I got my Milsim unit that I take care of with Alex Green, actually.
Fair enough.
And then I try to hang out with my brother as much as I can. He's going through a tough time. That's what that commotion was.
Fair enough.
I had to deal with. So,
if I can make a suggestion to you as far as the oval side of things go, and this was the wisest words ever given to me, and that is to cherry pick the Charlotte races and pit start them. And the reason that was told to me was, no matter what happens, pit start the Charlotte races, and skip all the other rookie races. The reason being is, by the time you get released from the pits at a Charlotte race in the street stock, by the time you get released, the field is going to have already, if they were going to crash in turn one, the melee was already going to have happened by the time you got released from your pit stall.
oh yeah.
And then it's just weaving your way through the traffic. And I did that, and I was out of rookies in 5 races.
That's pretty impressive. I'm currently on, I think, this next race I'll get out of the rookie. 2.90 right now, actually. I've done 7 races, I believe.
Well, what it boils down to is based on your safety rating, and it's how many times did you brush the wall, how many times did you dip into the grass, how many times did you touch another car. So if you can do, 5 back-to-back-to-back clean races, that's all it takes to get out of rookies.
Oh, yeah. The
Now,
first few weren't bad. I ran into a slight problem once with my wheel disconnecting on me. So, yeah, I had a pretty big one on that one.
understandable. Now, have you decided have you looked forward into the upper classes and decided which direction you want to go there?
Not necessarily yet. I'm leaning more towards probably the Xfinity series.
No, I meant like when you get out of rookies, you'll be in
Out of
D,
rookie?
which I believe is the K&N. Don't quote me on this, but I believe it's K&N, SK Modifieds, and late model. I think yes.
Probably late models then. I haven't really looked too much into it because like I said, I'm still in the rookie, so I just
Fair
take
enough.
them a little bit at a time.
Well, me being from the Northeast, I've been a modified fan since I first knew what a race car was. So the second that I was able to jump into an SK modified, I immediately was salivating at the mouth on that one.
Jumped on it, yeah.
So right around just under 2 minutes left before we're going to grid this one up. So we will give you a quick rundown of the lineup once they start to grid. Would like to remind everybody that you are currently, again, watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. So the Nightmare 230 from the Texas Motor Speedway, and
We got Graf playing Shania Twain on the
do
team
what?
speakers right now. Graf is playing some Shania Twain on the team speaks right now.
On TeamSpeak or in Sim?
In Sim, on all teams. Correction, my bad.
Oh, well, let me solve that little problem.
Nah, he cut it off. Everybody started yelling at him a little bit.
I was about to mute his mic for the rest of the race.
Oh no, he's just all good fun right now.
Anywho, as we are getting ready to grid this piece up, let me just grow that so I can read the dang thing. Let's bring the standings up so you folks can follow along. Starting up on the pole is going to be Chris the Punisher Parkman. Joining him on the outside of row number 1 is going to be David Llewellyn. Row 2 is going to be Gary Bauer with Mike Erder. So I smell trouble early here for the rest of the league, as you have 3 members of Team Booze Brother starting in the top 4 positions with Llewellyn, Bauer, and Erder. So row 3 is going to go to Tyler Graf and Isaiah Dupree, with row 4 going to Dylan Lucas and Quentin Young. Row 5 is going to see Kevin Pasquich and Mark Carpenter, with Nate Dean and Mike Whitaker, the world's fastest hippie, starting on the outside of row number 6. Row 7 is going to see Bob Lacavara and Creighton Carter, with Robert Hill Jr. and Hoop Baker making up row number 8. Row 9 is going to go to Johnny Antonucci and Tony Rice, with David Gervais and Cody Eldred making up row 10. Row 11, we're going to see Tyler Vickery and Bill Roberts, with Bill being the last car to take time. The only other car in the session that will be racing is going to be Nick Woods. So 23 cars scheduled to go off in this one. And just do this and do that. And so just waiting on Chris Parkman to grid up here. As the again the field gridding up. 230 laps of scheduled distance, and Parkman missed the start. Wow, that's insane.
Unbelievable.
So that's going to move Gary Bauer up to the front row. And allegedly I have trading paints on. So here's the question I'm concerned with. Being as this track is just under a mile, is it going to be 2 pace laps? There it is. We are 2 pace laps. So something to be mindful of, that pacing is going to take a little bit around here. So Parkman electing to, or electing to, should say, to pit start this. A lot of drivers back to their standard paint schemes. I see Cody Eldred running a throwback scheme from season 1 that he had me paint for him. The Save the Tatas paint scheme is October is, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As the field works its way through the 3-4 complex, getting ready to have the pace car duck on off. Pace car makes a hard right turn. Here we go.
Green, green, green.
And we are underway for the Nightmare 230, working lap 1, as Parkman getting ready to be released from the pits.
That is pretty sad to see, though.
Not really. I'm thinking he was thinking what I was thinking, where somebody was going to step on their own junk at the start of this one. So, you see the top 3 starting to break away a little bit as A. Dupree currently working the inside, getting past Mike Erder. Dylan Lucas going by as well. Erder getting freight trained on the high side. He's got Quentin Young behind him now. Young looked like he was getting ready to make it 3 wide. Still looking like he wants to make it 3 wide, but thinking better of it, as Gary Bauer is showing the way right now. It's hard to believe that in 3 seasons, Gary Bauer is still winless in the ISL. One of those guys that has just had some amazing runs going and has just unfortunately fallen victim to someone else's dumpster fire on a regular basis. But right now he's got his teammate right behind him, and both those gentlemen kind of hungry to get their tickets punched this season to move on to the chase. There's only a handful of races left before that's going to happen. So Bauer, Llewellyn, Graff, Dupree, Lucas, Young, Erder, Paskowicz, Carpenter, and Whitaker rounding out your top 10. As we got Graf looking to the inside of Llewellyn now. Thinks better of it. Llewellyn throws the block coming off the corner. Field's starting to get strung out pretty decently as Quentin Young working to the inside of Mike Herter. That's your battle for 6 with Paskowitz right there in tow.
Got Hoot Baker and the other guy way back in the back seem to be falling behind. They lost the drafts.
Hoot Baker already a lap down. Looks like he pit started as well. It's Bill Roberts and Chris Parkman trying to reel in the rest of the field. But meanwhile, up front, the top 4 are steadily walking away from Dylan Lucas. Already 2, and as I say that, Lucas starts to get the draft and work back into it. But you've got the 2 Team Booze Brothers teammates working right there. And then directly behind them, you have the former teammates with Isaiah Dupree and Tyler Graf. Dupree currently running for Turn 3 Motorsport, or Turn 3 Racing, with Tyler Graf running for New Lunar Republic. As you notice, Tyler does have that 1 on the nose of his car. That's because he is the defending IR05 Series champion.
Impressive.
So Young currently working on the inside of Dylan Lucas. That's your battle for 5th. And contact made. There it goes. There's the first caution.
Yep, first caution's out.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
We had that right there on screen. So, yay us. Let's take a look at the replay on that one. Let's back her up. Looks like Young just touched the apron there. They go across the stripe through the tri-oval. Young pushed up a little bit from the looks of it. Let's go to a chase cam and see if that is going to show us anything different here. Chase cam on Young just comes up. I mean, you know, you take a look at what Lucas was doing, and who's doing? There he is.
Here.
So here they are coming through the tri-oval again. We're following Lucas now in the California Special. Lucas just holding his line, and yeah, I kind of, wow, just gets blasted by, I believe that was Tyler Vickery in the 44. No, Nate Dean. We're gonna go to a cockpit cam of Dean on that one. So you see the world's fastest hippie, Mike Whitaker, directly in front of Nate.
Oh yeah, he just comes right down into him.
And just doesn't see it happening. Not really. And then he gets run over at the end of that. I believe that was Johnny Antonucci that caught a piece of Nate Dean. So Dean and Antonucci having to tow. That was just wild.
That was rough. He I don't know. He just came right down into him.
Well, he kind of couldn't see what was going on because all he saw was the rear wing of Whitaker's car. And Whitaker yanks the car to the right. Yeah, that was Antonucci that caught a piece of that one. Whitaker yanks the car hard left, and all of a sudden there's... I don't mean to laugh, but, you know, there's Dylan Lucas's car just sitting there. And Nate Dean's got nowhere to go at that point. It's way too late to even think of making, you know, any adjustments.
Any adjustments, yeah.
So First round of pit stops underway, actually complete now. Gary Bauer, David Llewellyn, Mike Erder, Tony Rice, and Chris Parkman all electing to stay out. So Parkman now up into the top 5 after pit starting. So Isaiah Dupree winning the battle off pit road. Tyler Graff, Paskowicz, Carpenter, and Gervais rounding out your top 10.
All right, Young's just making it to the pits now.
I'm sorry, who is? Young?
Young's making the pits right now.
Okay, so Young trying to limp it around.
Yep, there he is. He got it in there.
Now the question is Race Control going to hit him with... If Race Control decides that was his fault, they can hit him with the penalty of... there are 2 cars that had to tow because of that incident, and they both went 2 laps down. They could hold him for 2 laps. That is a possibility.
Guess we're going to see how that one plays out as soon as Race Control goes through.
Lights go out on the pace car, so you better make a decision quickly here. As the field starts to form up 2 by 2, with Bauer, Llewellyn, Erder, Parkman, Rice, Graff, Dupree, Paskowicz, Carpenter, and Gervais, your top 10. As Erder hanging back a tick, looking to give his teammate room. Parkman not appreciating that as he puts the nose cone of the Monster Energy number 20 right into the transmission tunnel of Erder's 117. So, currently working lap 19, going to be going green on lap 20. 230 laps, the scheduled distance here tonight. Pace car makes the hard left. Bauer pulls the trigger, and we are back underway. Bauer, Llewellyn, and Erder all in the same team speak, so they're able to basically go simultaneously. As Llewellyn going to be the lamb to the slaughter right now, as Parkman all over the back of the transmission tunnel of Llewellyn's car. Llewellyn gets to play blocker a little bit. Throw a blanket over the top 4 as they're starting to walk away from Tyler Graff a little bit. Half a second to the good over Graff right now, as you see Graff and Dupree right back there, just barely in camera shot. As Chris Parkman looking to the inside of David Llewellyn.
Got the inside on him.
Bombs it in and makes it stick. Erder going down to kind of break up Parkman's momentum. Going to try to get him to aero push a little bit. And that's exactly what it looked like happened. Parkman had to back off a little bit going into 1. And so Bauer continues to show the way. He has led since the drop of the initial green, as Parkman almost gets into the transmission tunnel of David Llewellyn. And here comes Graff to the inside of Parkman. They go side by side through the tri-oval. And you can now throw a blanket over the top 6. I'm sorry, the top 8. As David Gervais in 9th is almost a full second behind this lead breakaway.
That was a good restart on them. They had that thing planned out pretty good. Get a nice jump on everybody.
Well, that's the beauty of having all 3 of your teammates in the same place on the track. And I mean, it was weird that they all qualified in the top 4. And they were able to just say, hey, we're going 3, 2, 1, bang, hit the trigger, and all 3 of you just go at the same time, and, everybody else has to react. You kind of know it's coming.
Oh, yeah. That's a beautiful thing about especially having all of your teammates up front with you. You guys really control the entire racetrack.
Absolutely. As I'm hearing something going on towards the back. Let's see if... no, nobody seems to be off. Well, yeah, there we go. Hoot Baker banging the wall, limping it onto pit road. So that's what's going on there. Looked like... Was that Cody Eldred? No. Who was that? Nate Dean. That was Nate Dean catching a piece of something. As those wings are more screwed up than Hogan's Ghost, so that's going to burn Nate Dean's second fast repair tonight.
Parkman takes third place away from Llewellyn. Finally puts a break in that team.
And that's what the rest of the field needed, was somebody to break up the monopoly that Team Blues Brothers has on the top 3 spots. Now Parkman setting his sights on the Iceman Mike Erder, which Mike earned that name during the RobertsTechJobs.com Elite Invitational that we had back in late July, I believe it was.
Parkman's going low. He's got a nice run.
Side by side with Erder right now. So the one thing to watch out for is aero push. As we heard when we got into the session, that the inside car is going to be more affected by aero push than whoever's on the outside line. And these guys are getting chippy up in front. We still have a ton of racing left to do. Still 200 laps to go. And as Parkman gets a run, but Erder able to keep it wound up on the high side as they go into the 3-4 complex again. You got to think that these guys, how much more fuel do they have in the tank? They are currently 35 laps on their fuel run. I don't know what a full boat of fuel is going to be in these cars, but if I was Isaiah Dupree and Tyler Graff, I'd be licking my chops right now, knowing that they're 16 laps to the good on fuel. Because right now these guys, and they're able to use the draft to stay with them, so they're not having to really push the car as hard as they have to. We're now 37 laps. Bauer continuing to show the way. Erder and Parkman still duking it out for second. David Llewellyn trying to draft with his teammate there on the high side.
Yeah, Parkman's doing a really good job keeping that low side, not giving any inch.
Well, that's the one thing about Parkman is if something happens 99.9% of the time, it's not because Parkman did something stupid. It's because he got caught up in someone else's dumpster fire.
That's pretty cruddy when that happens, too.
Well, it's been known to happen on more than one occasion. Gary Bauer's in the same boat usually. And I harken back to Milwaukee, where Bauer had a podium finish going and just got nerfed. I mean, there was no other way to describe what happened. I believe it brought out the last caution, to be honest with you. And Parkman's going pit side. 40 laps into his stint, Parkman is going pits. You got to wonder how much these guys from Team Blues Brothers have left in the tank as well, as they are staying out there.
Caution, or they're gonna get something sometime soon.
Well, I'm thinking they're going to run it as far as they can, praying for that caution to come out, because there goes Parkman a lap down. You figure you're
there they go. It's now, actually.
And there we go. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Isaiah Dupree. So you figure you're roughly 36 seconds from entry to exit of pit road, and it's only 18 seconds a lap. So you're going to lose at least one lap, as Parkman went 2 laps down, having pitting by himself.
I wonder what these guys are going to be doing right now. What their plan is, probably just fuel. I don't think there's going to be much of a need for...
Oh, no, you're definitely going to want to get tires. Because the thing is, it doesn't add anything. If you're taking if you're taking fuel, you might just as well take the tires, because the tires are going to be done before you're done filling the fuel tank.
Oh, looks like they only took a little bit of fuel. That was quick.
Well, it's only a 7-second
Yellow,
pit stop.
yellow, yellow.
And there it is. What happened?
Whoa, right in front of the pit. Right in front of the exit of the pit.
Looks like Parkman may have caught a piece of that. Let's go back and see what happened. Parkman pointing the wrong way on a one-way street there. Looks like he caught the bump in turn 1. Why he was down there, I don't know.
Yeah, that was definitely self-inflicted.
Okay, so he looped it coming off of 4, was on the apron on the front stretch to stay out of everybody's way, and just looped it again in 1.
Yeah, seemed like he hit he had a pocket or something coming out of the turn.
Now, if you want the good news, yep, and that's exactly what happened. He tried to merge back up on the track in 1, and it didn't work. Because there is a wicked bump at the exit of pits. But the good news is Gary Bauer just got a lap back. So Gary Bauer getting the lucky dog. And Isaiah Dupree winning the battle off pit road again. So there is your leader of the race. So
Apparently having some fun with the pace car.
So Antonucci looking for the wave around, Erder looking for the wave around, Parkman looking for the wave around, Llewellyn.
He is taking a pits time now.
Looks like Llewellyn. There's Baker, who's 3 laps down. Nate Dean, who's 4 laps down. There's Tony Rice in the 7-Eleven car. And there's Gary Bauer getting back on the lead lap after his wave around. So
Dupree and Carpenter, pretty much everybody on the lead lap decided to pit this caution.
And understandable too. I mean, they still they had quite a few laps on their stints and didn't want to get caught out like the rest of those guys did. And new paint scheme for Bill Roberts, I'm seeing. Taking a page out of his teammate, the world's fastest hippie, Mike Whitaker's playbook. Whitaker, of course, running tie-dye schemes since he joined the league. And let's see if I can find where Mike is. There he is. So Whitaker running the yellow with Bill Roberts running the blue. So Pinnacle Motorsports, showing its colors tonight. But speaking of league sponsor Bill Roberts, one of the team principals in Pinnacle Motorsports, you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, proud sponsor of the Indy Speedway League, is your temp to hire and contract leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com. Be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you, and be sure to let Bill know that you love the new paint scheme on his car, because that is one sharp race car.
Not one of those moments where I wished my
trading paints were working.
Trading paints was working.
Well, you're always welcome to go watch the stream, because I've got it right there in dead center of the picture right now.
All right. As soon as I'm gonna have to quit the race and come back in, because every time
you're fine. No, you're fine. Don't alt tab. You watch it later. So lights are out on the pace car. It's Dupree, Carpenter, Graff, Carter, Paskowitz, Gervais, Young, Whitaker, Eldred, and Vickery. Your top 10. So lot of the usual hitters up towards the front, with the rookie Mark Carpenter being the only real new name up there, running the Marlboro Team Penske, number 37 there on the outside. And this could bode badly for the rest of the field, as you've got two teammates with Creighton Carter and Tyler Kraft starting side by side. As Dupree pulls the trigger early, Carter able to go with him. So another decent restart, as we are restarting on lap 51, crossing for 52 this time. As Dupree showing the way, got Creighton Carter right behind him. Mark Carpenter making a move on the inside. You know, on fresh tires, you're going to feel like Superman in this car. But as soon as you wear the goodie off the tires, it goes to pot very quickly. As Kevin Pasquich running that real high line, making sure everybody getting some room. And they are getting chippy up towards the front already.
Everybody's trying to get that pole position. They all want the number 1 spot.
Well, the only lap that it counts for... And there we go.
Yeah, I heard it. I don't know where it's at yet.
And that's Quentin Young there. We're going to follow along because I did see that he got involved in that one. Catches the apron, gets sideways. And I am going to just ask a quick question of race control here.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad one, too. Oh. Switch to the cockpit on this one, see.
So just waiting to hear a reply, but yeah, we're going to go to the chopper on that one. Get to the chopper. As you watch, here they are coming through the tri-oval section, going into turn number 1. You see Young in the red, white, and blue car there on the low side. Touches the apron, gets the car sideways, and just collects the 6.
And goes for a ride.
Yeah, Gervais having nowhere to go because, you know, Young just got sideways in front of him, and there was no possible chance. And for those of you who think I'm fibbing, we're going to go to a cockpit view. We are on board right now. This is the helmet cam of David Gervais in the 6, and you know, you see Quentin Young get sideways, and there's no possible chance for Gervais to do anything at that point. So it's going to bring out our third caution of the night. And I'm getting confirmation right now from Race Control Joe Morganti. That is Quentin Young's second. So race over for Mr. Quentin Young.
That's a tough one.
Absolutely.
We got a new leader though.
Yep, Creighton Carter. While we are under caution, I do want to take this quick moment to welcome Joe Morganti back to the league. And Joe, thank you so much for race controlling tonight, sir.
Hey, no problem, Tony. It's my pleasure.
And we are, happy to have you and the rest of, I believe it's Strange Nuts.
Yes, it is Strange Nuts. There's a few Strange Nuts in this team.
Yes, but we're glad to have you and the rest of Strange Nuts back with the league. And again, thank you so much for race controlling tonight. We're happy to have you with us.
Hey, no problem. I'd be out there on the track right now, but unfortunately, I have a encoder problem with my G27, and as soon as everything's all fixed up and new computer all built, I'll be back next season.
Well, I stripped out the bolt that was holding down my my T500, so I finally bought one of those today at work. planning on installing it after this race is over with, and actually running a dirt race when this is over. So, Joe, we'll let you get back down to the broadcast booth, or you're welcome to, into the race control booth, or you're welcome to join us up here in the broadcast booth if you'd like.
Either or, it doesn't matter to me.
Well, it's your call, sir. If you like, I can move you back down.
It's a little bit quieter down there.
Fair enough. Again, Joe, thanks for race controlling, and if you want to pop up after the excuse me, after the chuckers fly and join us for the post race, you're welcome to do so.
All right, yeah, thank you very much. I might do that. All depends on if the race ends before like 10:15, and I don't see it happening.
Yeah, no, we've got about 170 laps to go, so I don't see that taking place. But we'll let you get back to it, Joe, as the lights are getting ready to go out on the pace car.
All right, thank you very much, guys.
User was moved out of your channel.
So, Creighton Carter, Isaiah Dupree, Tyler Graff, Mark Carpenter, Kevin Pasquich, Bob Lacavara, Gary Bauer, Cody Eldred, Mike Whitaker, and Robert Hill Jr. running out your top 10. So you'll probably notice some interesting things going on right now. Think of it as, you know how Stuart Haas used to have that partnership with Hendrick Motorsports? Think of that as Turn 3 Racing and do Lunar Republic, with NLR and T3R. Kind of the same idea going on there. A lot of sharing going on. As pace car pulls in and Carter pulls the trigger, starting on the outside. I missed that one. One of the few tracks where starting on the outside might actually be an advantage here tonight, as Creighton Carter just hammers.
Got a good 3-car lead right now, 4-car maybe.
Well, 3/10, and the rest of the field is starting to play catch up here. One of the not often used rules here in the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League is that the leader can choose to start on the outside. We've only ever seen it done once before, and I believe that was at Thompson Speedway in the Pro Mazda Series. As Tyler Graff catching the apron, getting a little squirrely there. Noticing that your top 7 stayed out under the caution. From Cody Eldred in 8th back, everybody went down pit road. So if this stays green, going to be interesting to see how this plays out as far as green flag pit stops. As you see, Carpenter and Dupree duking it out right now for 2nd place. Kevin Pasquich, kind of biding his time, sitting there in 4th. As they go side by side again for 2nd. It's Dupree on the inside, Carpenter on the high side, able to keep it wound up. Creighton Carter coming up and trying to take some air off Carpenter's spoiler.
Yeah, he's trying to play a good blocking game, trying to get that extra speed.
They don't want to screw around too much because they got a full field of hungry lions behind them.
Yeah. Bunch of guys waiting for a little mess up.
So, these guys are playing duck and peek right now and driving the wheels off these cars. 19 laps into their stint, I gotta think they've worn most of, if not all of the goodie off those Firestone slicks. Carter, Carpenter, Dupree, Pasquich, Bauer, Graff, Lacavara, Eldred, Whitaker, and Hill, your top 10. As David Llewellyn is back on the lead lap, as Mike Erder, the last car, 1 lap down. Bill Roberts, the last car on the lead lap, currently sitting in 14th. So, for those of you who were with us on Sunday, you saw Kevin Pasquich take the lead of Sunday's race, and all of a sudden the car just disappeared. Where did Kevin go? Well, as we found out in a Facebook post. Anybody want a cat? Apparently his wife's feline decided to relieve itself on Kevin's router and shorted the damn thing out. So good to see that Kevin was able to get that replaced in time for tonight's event.
Oh, we got to pass Robert right now. Caution's out.
And there we go. What happened? Cody Eldred in the Save the Tatas car, and let's find out what happened there. See Eldred and Whitaker going at it. There's Parkman. Eldred just catches the apron.
Oh, that's a reoccurring thing right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're right. Come on.
Face real quick and find out.
I believe it was Tony Rice caught a piece of that one.
Yeah, that same turn. Always that one corner.
Who the heck is in the rain car? Come on. Oh, Ralph's car. That was Robert Hill Jr. catching a piece of that one. So, see Robert Hill Jr. right behind, and Parkman catching a piece of it as well. So that's going to be another fast repair Parkman's got to burn. But, yeah, rough break there for Robert Hill Jr. Ending up on his roof, now actually sticking the landing, trying to get the car underway, as we're going to watch him limp it back to the pits. Let's go to the chase cam and see how badly Cody caught the apron. Yeah, that's exactly what did happen. As let's watch that at half speed. You see Whitaker on the high side, giving plenty of room. Eldred hugging the low side, catches the apron, gets the car sideways, and Robert Hill Jr. just goes for a ride. So let's watch the chopper cam on this one. You see Eldred in the black and pink car, Robert Hill Jr. in the all-white car, and that's Chris Parkman in the black Monster Energy car, and just boom, into the wall. And I usually end up saying it once per race. Thank God this is a simulator, because that would have been a surefire basilar skull fracture, regardless of safer barriers, because he went careening into the wall north of 170 miles an hour. That's not one you're going to survive easily.
Oh, no siree.
So, burning fast repair there, able to limp it back, but did lose a lap there. And
got a new first-time leader for the race.
Bob Lacavara. Mr. Conversion Composites himself getting out there and leading a lap. Creighton Carter winning the battle off pit road. The only problem is Bob currently lap 27 of his stint. Oy vey. So the question is, how much fuel does Bob have left in the tank? Let's find out.
That'd be nice.
I believe. And looks like Paskowitz blinking again. And unfortunately for Hoot Baker, with Lacavara staying out like he did, that's going to deny Baker of the wave around. So rough break for Hoot tonight.
He's having a pretty bad time right now.
So Cody Eldred just barely able to stay on the lead lap on that one.
Parkman's now down 3 as well.
Parkman's down 3. Dean's down 4. Hoot Baker's down 3. David Gervais losing 2 laps after that early melee. Tony Rice losing a couple. Robert Hill Jr. losing 1. And Mike Erder apparently getting a piece of that one, not able to get the lucky dog on that caution. So Bob Lacavara basically praying for a quick caution here, as he's 29 laps into his stint. Everyone else 3 or less laps, so just barely able to get a little bit of heat into the tires.
Yeah, see how fast he tries to hold out on this one.
Well, let's take a look and see how this restart goes, provided Bob doesn't spin the tires here.
Race car lights are off.
Rolls into it, and we are live. I don't think you're live, sir.
No, I wasn't. I backed up a little bit somehow.
Been there, done that. Creighton Carter getting a good jump. Currently sitting in second. Isaiah Dupree in third. Mark Carpenter fourth. And Kevin Pasquich rounding out your top 5. As the field starts to get strung out again with everybody except for Carpenter and Dupree as they go side by side. Dupree giving Carpenter the spot, looks like. No, keeping it wound up on the high side. Carpenter with the preferred line. Pasquich all over the back bumper of Dupree right now. Sorry, transmission tunnel. I got to stop broadcasting tin top races. So Pasquich now working the inside, flirting with disaster, just barely staying off the apron. Pasquich and Dupree side by side. Gary Bauer looking for a hole as well.
Carter tried to go for a ride in that first. He's going to maybe get it. No,
Carter and Lacavara slips high. Looks like those tires are whooped. 33 laps into his stint. Not surprising that he's not able to really hang on to her too well on the high side. As Gary Bauer gets by Pasquich. Bauer in 5th now. It's Carter and Carpenter working side by side as they go through the 1-2 complex now. Down the back straightaway they go. You know, Mark Carpenter got the recent call-up from the Pro Mazda Icebreaker Series on Thursday nights, as Isaiah Dupree starting to blink badly. But we got the call-up, and I have to say I'm really impressed with the vast majority of this season's rookie crop. You know, these guys are just some of the greatest rookie classes I've ever seen. So the Rookie of the Year battle is really shaping up to be a slugfest. And I dare say just about every race that we've run so far, you've had a handful of seasoned vets and a handful of rookies in the top 10 of just about every race so far. As Isaiah Dupree continuing to blink on the low side by side right now with Mark Carpenter. And these guys are really starting to pull away from... and there it goes.
Yeah, Isaiah. And they came up in the Carpenter, it looked like.
Well, as soon as I find where Isaiah ended up, there he is. Yep, just banged wheels and came out on the losing end of that one. Here they are going through the 3-4 complex, coming onto the front straight, yep, that's exactly what happened. Just brain fade from Isaiah Dupree. And that's the caution Bob Lacavara needed. 40 laps into his stint, still hanging into the top 10 or top 4. You know, Bob needed that one.
Oh yeah, he definitely needed that one. He's very thankful that was a pretty quick caution for him.
It would surprise me if the entire field didn't come down pit side this time. You know, being as we've just gone 14 laps. So Bob Lacavara, first one into the pits. Looks like teammate Mike Whitaker going with him. Tyler Graff going with him. Kevin Pasquich, David Llewellyn.
Carter Carpenter choosing to stay out this time, or this round at least.
So Robert Hill Jr. Getting the lucky dog on that one. Putting 15 cars back on the lead lap.
So, good for him.
So, but, you know, while I'm thinking of it, we are going to go up to, as soon as I can figure out where the hell he is, there he is. He's an unofficial member of Team 3 Musket Beers tonight.
User was moved to your channel.
Joining us now is going to be the driver of the number 7 PH Aware, the mighty IR05 car, Mr. Kevin Paskowicz, driving the Purple People Eater in giving a nod to October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And if I'm not mistaken, you and your wife kind of had a little tat, and she wanted to partake with some domestic violence with you on Sunday when you threatened to sell her cat to the Chinese food store.
Oh yes. Just all fun and games and jokes. The joys and perils of pet ownership. But yeah.
But domestic violence, we can both agree, is not a laughing matter. So you know,
yes,
you bringing attention to it by running the purple car, being as purple is the color for domestic violence awareness, and October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We do thank you for doing so, Kevin.
No problem. We're happy to help out. We're happy to raise awareness any way we can for, you know, any number of things. Of course, especially with PH Aware, the Mighty, which is a suicide prevention. You know, domestic abuse, cancer as well. But I think the big one coming up, actually tomorrow, starts PH Awareness Month.
Yes, it does. I was just actually going to point that out to you, that it actually in a little over an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be really excited to carry those colors all through the month of November. I mean, we do anyway, but just trying to, you know, let people know that these things are out here, and hopefully we can educate some folks as well. Absolutely.
So that's the biggest reason why I wanted to bring you down while we're still under caution, and just get you to touch base with us on that, because I thought it was going to be November 1st that started, but I wanted to double check with you. So thanks, Kevin. Best of luck to you.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Have fun up there.
Yeah, sure. You guys drive a clean race from here on out. Yeah, it'll be a blast.
We'll see what we can do.
All right, so Kevin Paskowicz, driver of the Pulmonary Hypertension Awareness, the Mighty, number 7. Lights go out on the pace car. Creighton Carter, Mark Carpenter, Tyler Graff, Gary Bauer, Mike Whitaker, Kevin Paskowicz, Bob Lacavara, Tyler Vickery, Cody Eldred, and Johnny Antonucci rounding out your top 10. So good to see Antonucci back on the lead lap. So Creighton Carter electing to take the high line again. Got his teammates.
I'm really comfortable with that.
He's got his teammates starting right behind him, so this is going to be interesting to see. So Carter, Carpenter, and Bauer all staying out. Everybody else going down pit road. This could be interesting to see how this plays out.
Pace car's off.
Pace car's off, and you see Carter and Graff get a wicked jump. Graff having to feather it a little bit, getting up into the marbles, going through the tri-oval. That's going to let Carpenter get back by him. Bauer to the inside of Graff. Power move, makes it stick. On worn tires, nonetheless. So, apparently 20 laps and the tires don't have the goodie worn off of them. It's Carpenter working the inside of Carter right now. These guys are getting chippy up towards the front. I'm thinking where Paskowicz and Whitaker are in 5th and 6th, just back far enough that if the dumpster fire starts, you can at least get out of the way.
Caution's out somewhere.
And Nate Dean pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. Let's take a look and see what happened here. You see Dean in the black and purple car on the low side. It's Robert Hill Jr. behind him, and Dean just catches the apron, gets sideways. Robert Hill Jr. with nowhere to go. We're going to watch that one more time. You see the 44 is Dean. Just touches the apron, gets the car sideways, and just right there. And at 180 miles an hour, there's no time to react. We are back under caution. Carter Bauer and Graff all going pit side. Interesting. Graff went down pit side last time. Looks like he's trying to stay with his teammate.
I think so.
Carpenter staying out. Paskowitz staying out. Whitaker staying out. So, while I'm thinking of it, let's go.
User was moved to your channel.
See if we can get a hold of defending IR05 Series champion Tyler Graff. Now, Tyler, we just saw you go down pit road under the last caution. Only a handful of laps on your fuel stint. What made you choose to go down pit road this time?
I like fresh tires, and the teammate was right there. So I figured getting back on the same strategy, hoping this turns into a green flag race.
Kind of what I was thinking you were going with on that one, but
yeah, my tires were still new, but I didn't want to be up there alone with a bunch of cars with older tires. So
fair enough.
I'd rather come back a little bit and play it safe right now.
Fair enough. Now we are talking about the different charities that drivers are driving for tonight. Now yours is the Drive to End Brain Cancer, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yep, CTFXC Drive to End Brain Cancer. I don't have it as the primary this week. It will be again next week. But the 93X Brotherhood beer on the side of the car here, all the proceeds to that also go to, I think it's the Disabled Veterans Association.
Yes, with Veterans Day coming up this coming Monday. Good on you for pointing that out, sir.
Yeah, anytime.
So, best of luck to you, and we'll let you get back up into that team speak.
Thank you.
As soon as I can figure out where the hell you guys are. There they are.
User was moved out of your channel.
Good man right there, like Graff.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if you heard any of the pre-race open, but our very own Terry Adams is also carrying DAV on his car, which, for those who aren't aware, DAV is an all-volunteer fleet of non-critical medical transport for America's veterans. And for more information on how you can get involved, we ask that you go to dav.org.
Something I can definitely get behind. I'm a huge fan of trying to help out the veteran community.
Well, here's the way I look at that whole situation. If you didn't stand with them, the very least you can do is stand behind them when they come home.
Exactly. And I could go into a whole stint on this, but I'm not going to.
Well, fair enough. But I wasn't able to stand with them because I have some medical issues that disqualified me. But I'll be damned if I'm going to not stand behind the veterans who allow us the freedom, to do, in this case, iRacing. It's because of those men and women who served and put their lives on the line that we're able to enjoy the freedoms that we have. And if any of America's veterans are listening, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
I agree. I definitely support them. I've actually served some myself, so I really like seeing anything that goes towards honoring the military in any way, shape, or form on any of those race cars out there, and I really appreciate that they choose to support and openly about it, because in today's world, it's not as good as it should be, in my opinion.
Well, I'll have to,
Green flag, green flag.
as we get back underway, I'll have to scan an article for you that Dave Moody had in the Area Auto Racing News recently about the whole taking a knee thing. But Mark Carpenter jumping out to an early lead. Mike Whitaker, we haven't seen much or heard much out of our defending DW12 Series champion. Currently sitting in second place. And Kevin Paskowicz, we just spoke to, I believe, a caution ago. Currently sitting in third. Bob Lacavara able to hang on for fourth. And Johnny Antonucci up into the fifth spot after going a lap down early. David Llewellyn going a couple laps down early. Running in sixth. Creighton Carter, Gary Bauer, Tyler Graff, and Cody Eldred, our Season 1 IR05 champion, rounding out your top 10. So champions abound currently in the top 10, with Tyler Graff being the defending IR05 champion, Mike Whitaker the defending DW12 champion, and Cody Eldred the series first champion. As Paskowicz goes to the inside of Whitaker. Whitaker gives him plenty of room, but fights back on the high side, keeping it wound up side by side into turn number 3. And Paskowicz and Whitaker still side by side. Paskowicz with the preferred line. Whitaker still able to keep it wound up. Gets the run off the corner. Paskowicz able to get into the corner a little bit better. Slides up. Whitaker crosses him over as they go across the go through the tri-oval. Whitaker now to the inside. Paskowicz on the high side.
What a move. That was nice.
You'd almost think that these guys have been running together for quite a while, and for those of you who've been watching the broadcast, get the little joke there that both these drivers have been around since Season 1. As a matter of fact, Mike Whitaker got his first series win the night that we crowned Cody Eldred Season 1 champion. So Mark Carpenter currently showing the way as we are just past the 130 to go mark. Carpenter, Whitaker, Paskowicz, Lacavara, Carter, Llewellyn, Bauer, Antonucci, and Graff, your top 10. As the field's starting to get a little bit strung out right now, except for up in front. As Whitaker working all over the back of the rookie right now. Whitaker, though, has 15 laps to the good over when Carpenter's going to have to take a pit side. As Paskowicz goes to the inside of Whitaker again, these guys running side by side means they're not going to be able to battle Carpenter straight off the rip. But, you know, Whitaker, one of the most patient drivers that we have in the league. Racing is almost like a game of chess to him, I've noticed, where he'll give a little, take a little, give a little, you know, take a little. But unless he gets caught up, and there it goes, Paskowicz catches the apron. Oh, Bob Lacavara getting caught up in that one as well.
Oh, that one's rough. That looked like a good 2 or 3 cars, maybe 4.
Lacavara involved in that one. Paskowicz. Looks like the rest of the field able to snake by. Let's watch that one again. Watch the purple, number 7 on the low side. Just catches that apron like we've seen so many guys do. Looks like maybe Dylan Lucas may have caught a piece of that. I think. I could be wrong.
Lost.
Robert Hill Jr. getting a piece of it, looks like.
7, I believe it was. 27 was one of them. Not loading for me right now.
Why am I not seeing where these guys are? Okay. Who the heck is in the... Mick Woods catching a piece of it, I believe. So here we are following Woods.
Mick Woods, Roberts, and Kevin.
Did Bill Roberts get caught up in that one?
I'm not sure. I see him coming out of the pits now, so I'm not 100% sure if he pitted or he got caught up in it.
Looks like he was able to sneak his way through. It was,
Oh, yeah, he pitted. I'm backing up now. Going back, trying to find, because it looked like 3 cars were involved.
Yeah, Lacavara, and then he caught the, Wow! Let's watch that again. As we're following along with Bob Lacavara in the Convergent Composites number 5 there. Just nowhere to go. Oh, that was Gary Bauer that caught a piece of it.
There we go.
And then the 66 of Mick Woods catching a piece of Bob Lacavara as Lacavara was trying to limp it back to the pits. Yeah, let's take a look at this from Bauer. Yeah, Bauer caught a piece of both cars, almost catching Quentin Carter. But yeah, look at the right front wing on Bauer's car. It's just tweaked. It looks like David Llewellyn catching a piece of it as well, as the front end on his car doesn't look the freshest right now either. As we go back live.
Back live with Whitaker in the first spot.
And we are going to actually... we are actually going to try to get a hold of Mike Whitaker right now, the world's fastest hippie and defending DW12 Series champion, currently leading the race. Mike, you had a hell of a battle going there with Pasquich for a while there. I'm not sure if you saw exactly what happened next to you.
Yeah, I saw it. I was giving him room. I figured he hit the apron because of the way he reacted. That's too bad. That was a good race.
Yeah, that was a hell of a battle. Now, we were talking earlier, we saw Bill Roberts' new paint scheme. Is that anything that you may or may not have had a hand in doing?
That's actually the old paint scheme. Bill hasn't changed his IR05 since the end of last season when I did that for him when him and I first teamed up.
Ah, okay.
Terry is working on a new one for him. He's got a really nice one for the DW12, but he hasn't done his 5 yet.
Well, fair enough, Mike. We'll let you get back up into the rest of your team speak, and best of luck in the rest of the event, sir.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
So, the world's fastest hippie, giving us a little insight into what's going on with Pinnacle Motorsports. That, of course, is Bill Roberts, Mike Whitaker, Bob Lacavara, and Terry Adams. So lights out on the pace cars. Whitaker, the only one to not come down pit road that time. 28 laps under his current stint. As we are officially halfway. And it looks like this race might possibly time out. If it stays green, according to iRacing, we're only going to see 214 laps before the time is going to expire.
That's not good. That's a good majority of the race, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are... where are we here? We are currently 7 cautions into the event. But currently under green, and that's all that matters right now, is David Llewellyn has worked his way from 2 laps down to back on the lead lap and currently running in second place. His teammate Gary Bauer sits in 4th. They got the rookie Mark Carpenter in between them. As Llewellyn looking on the high side, trying to figure out if he can use that to get by defending DW12 Series champion Mike Whitaker. Currently showing the way as we're working lap 121 of 230. Carpenter to the inside of Llewellyn right now. Llewellyn keeping it wound up on the high side with his teammate. Tyler Graff rounding out the top 5. You see him just in the back of the shot there. So Whitaker, Carpenter, Llewellyn, Bauer, Graff, Hill, Dupree, Vickery, Antonucci, and Season 1 champion Cody Eldred rounding out your top 10.
Bless you.
Thank you. And with as much racing as this league has done, I was shocked the other day when I found out that Gary Bauer, currently battling his teammate for the 3rd spot, Tyler Graff trying to stick his nose in there, but Gary Bauer in the 27th currently does not have a win in an official ISL race. I was shocked when I learned that stat. Which reminds me, with Gary Bauer on screen right now, Miss Betty Lou, how you doing? For those of you who don't know who Miss Betty Lou is, that would be Gary's mother-in-law. Lovely lady from Minnesota, watches our broadcast, and we are happy to have her. For those of you just joining us, we do ask that you like, subscribe, and share, as we've got a battle for the lead shaping up with Carpenter looking to the inside of Whitaker. The rookie trying to take it to the world's fastest hippie right now. As you got the old guard on the high side and you got the rookie on the low side. As Gary Bauer goes to the inside of Whitaker now, trying to freight train him. Whitaker still fighting back on that high side, getting that second line to come in. I'm thinking that the longer that your tires... The longer the runs go, the more that high side is going to come into effect.
Yes, come into play and give you the advantage you need.
Well, as has been the case.
Oh my! Another one, same corner. That corner is killing people tonight.
It's Gary Bauer going on a Mr. Toad's wild ride there. Looks like he just caught the apron, and yep, there it is. Catches the apron. And just David Llewellyn catches a race car to the face. My Lanta. Let's take a look at the chopper on that one. As you see Bauer in the red car on the low side.
Yep, he just touches it. Oh.
Boom. There it goes. And we are going to go... I'm being told to take a look at an in-car from Cody Eldred here. Talk about threading the needle. Good grief. Let's watch that again. We're going to watch that at half speed this time. So, you see the accident start to happen. Okay, they're coming through turn 2 right now. Coming down the back straightaway. We're on board with Cody Eldred at half speed. The accident's going to start right there. Everybody starts to check up that sees it. Caution is out. Cody misses Johnny Antonucci, threads the needle, misses Gary Bauer. I'm thinking that the 14 team is going to need to get a new fire suit ready for Cody, because that definitely looked like a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment. And then here we are at real speed. Just barely missing everything. Good grief.
A good run by him.
Absolutely. And I got to thank our race controller for pointing that out to me. So, Joe, thanks for bringing that to my attention. That was a hell of a shot there. But, yeah, doing a great job avoiding everybody. And with Carpenter staying out, that looks like it's going to deny. That's going to deny Chris Parkman the wave around. So currently 12 cars on the lead lap. Kevin Paskowitz, the first car, 1 lap down. Tony Rice, 2 laps down. Gary Bauer now 2 laps down as he had to tow that one. Chris Parkman, 3 laps down. Mike Erder, 3 laps down. Bob Lacavara, 3 laps down. Hoot Baker, 3 laps down. David Llewellyn has withdrawn from the event. And Nate Dean... Sorry, Mike Erder, 3 laps down. Hoot Baker, 3 laps down. Bob Lacavara, 3 laps down. David Llewellyn withdraw from the event. And Nate Dean, the last car still running, currently 6 laps down. So, currently working. If we can get all 230 laps in before time expires, we are currently right now at 100 laps to go. As looks like the lights have gone out on the pace car. Field's starting to form up 2 by 2. So Carpenter, Dupree, Graff, Whitaker, Antonucci, Hill, Vickery, Eldred, Wood, and Carter, your top 10. Because we've seen Carpenter, get some pretty decent restarts. We'll look for him to go as soon as that pace car starts to twitch.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that did not pit.
Green.
So this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. We've seen him with fresher tires as Whitaker gets a great jump on the inside line. Dupree a little bit of sleep at the switch. But we've seen Carter usually on fresher tires. Now he is on the oldest tires on the track. 21 laps, and everybody else is 4 or less.
See what happens now.
As we're watching the battle for second start to heat up with Dupree and Whitaker really going at it. They are 0.3 to the good over Tyler Graff, who you see in the screenshot there. As Dupree bombs it to the inside, Whitaker basically lets him have it. Knows that there's still a ton of racing left to do. Whitaker just trying to stay clean, which he, knock on wood, has been able to do for most of the event. As Dupree now sets his sights on Carpenter. We saw those two throw bombs at each other earlier. As Dupree flirting with disaster, just barely staying off the apron there.
There he goes on the pass.
And we're almost 3 wide for a second there. As Carpenter looked like he may have backed out of it. Whitaker to the inside now. Give that lap to Dupree by 83 thousandths of a second. Carpenter trying to come back now on the inside.
Get that high to low coming out of the turn. Got the jump on him.
Did that high to low. That one's still... And
keep doing it back and forth every time around that turn.
Absolutely. That was mildly scary.
Yeah. Almost braced for that one.
Yeah, that was definitely a pucker moment. So, as you take a look at this shot, third place, defending IR05 Series champion Tyler Graff. Fourth place, defending DW12 Series champion Mike Whitaker. Fifth place, Season 1 IR05 champion Cody Eldred. Second place, Isaiah Dupree, winner of last season's DW12 Triple Crown Challenge. So, there's some talent running in the top 5 right now. And Mark Carpenter, can really hang his hat to the fact that he's able to not only just stay with these guys, he's running the wheels off that car with 31 laps on his current tire stint, and he's able to lead this group.
He's doing a good job. They did a lot of battling back and forth, but he's managed to hold on.
As Whitaker almost, another coat of paint, Whitaker would have been in trouble. He almost got up into the marbles there. A little bit of arrow push as he's behind Isaiah Dupree right now. As we see Graff and Whitaker side by side for third.
We have that. Oh, nice save by Graff. He just touched into the... Oh, I'm drawing a blank right now.
That was the first you say it, then you do it kind of moment.
Yep.
And now it's the battle of the Tylers. Tyler Vickery on the high side, Tyler Graff on the low side. Creighton Carter goes blasting through.
That was a nice save, though, on Graff's part.
Absolutely. As we stay green, currently 147 laps in the books. And Carpenter still showing the way. Isaiah Dupree sitting in second. So Carpenter can expect to go at minimum 1 lap down. Bare minimum 1 lap down. Should we stay green. Because Isaiah Dupree is currently about half the stint that Carpenter has. Approximately. So Carpenter 36 laps. Make that 37. So 17 laps to the good is Isaiah Dupree, Mike Whitaker, Johnny Antonucci, Cody Eldred. And you got to wonder when Carpenter's going to come in. You almost got to think he's going to run this basically until it's almost bingo on fuel. He kind of has to at this point, praying for a caution to come out. The only thing is, I don't think a caution is going to come out. As they now come up on, Parkman has some wing damage.
Yep.
That's got to be affecting his handling.
Looks like he's not doing too well on the track right now. That damage.
So Parkman goes another lap down. A lot of front end damage on the Monster Energy 20 of Parkman. As the top 3 are now a second and a half to the good over 4th place Johnny Antonucci. And Whitaker and Dupree have just got to basically be biding their time right now, knowing that there's going to be a couple more pit stops anyways. And Mark Carpenter currently 40 laps, now 42 laps into his stint. That car's got to be almost on fumes.
Yeah, he's got to be close. He's doing a really good job, though, with everything he's got going for him right now. Handling it well.
And the one thing I've learned over, the course of running both against Mike Whitaker in Season 1 and watching as an announcer through Season 2 and now into Season 3 is when it comes into a fuel strategy race, there's 2 guys you never want to bet against. One of them's Mike Whitaker, the other one is Cody Eldred. And Carpenter coming into the pits this time. And it sounds like that car's not running at all.
Oh, so he ran bingo.
He is completely bingo on fuel right now.
What a drive.
And that just hands the lead of the race over to Isaiah Dupree. So Dupree, Whitaker, Graff, Carter, Antonucci, Eldred, Vickery, Gervais, back on the lead lap, I might point out, David Gervais. Mick Woods, who did pit start, went a lap down early. And Robert Hill Jr. back on the lead lap as well.
There you go, you got that fuel back, Carpenter.
And
able to get in on fumes, on nothing actually.
Series sponsor Bill Roberts in 11th place, currently the last car on the lead lap. So Isaiah Dupree and Mike Whitaker just continue to run lockstep right now. Just biding their time. Currently 31 laps into their stints. We may hopefully get to see a full round of green flag stops this time. But I would like to point out that the last time we ran in this car at this track, Isaiah Dupree actually caught the entire field a lap and a half down.
Oh, man.
With only 5 laps to go. We went green with 5 laps to go. The entire field's a lap and a half down.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so we finished with like 2 cars on the lead lap because of green flag stops. And then a caution came out because I forget exactly what brought the caution out, but yeah, Isaiah Dupree ended up winning the race because he was able to, just catch the field. He got on a strange strategy, and at first it wasn't working, and then as we got into the green flag stops, it was working better and better and better and better. And next thing you know, he's leading, and everybody else goes pit side, and they go a lap down, and he didn't. So I'm thinking he's probably hoping the same thing happens this time that happened then. But that's going to be interesting to see if that were to happen.
Could be going for broke. He's done it once, he can do it again. Probably his mind thought right now.
True story. But Dupree and Whitaker still a second and a half to the good over third place. Now being occupied by the teammates now of Tyler Graff and Creighton Carter running in lockstep in third and fourth. So, but they're still not gaining any ground. That's a surprising fact. As it looks like Whitaker's just looking for a good points night. Dupree, again, looking to win his second Iowa race in a row. As we are closing in on the next round of green flag stops. Looks like Tyler Graff calling his pit, Creighton Carter calling his, Gervais and Woods calling theirs. Dupree going pit side. Whitaker staying out. So, little fuel strategy being played by Mike Whitaker.
Little rear ending on pit road almost.
Whitaker coming in this lap. So the question is, who can get on and off pit road the most efficiently? Whitaker in, Vickery in, Bauer in, Bill Roberts in.
Dupree's going for it. Like Dupree takes pit road. Yep.
Dupree winning the battle of that group of drivers that went pit side. Whitaker with a 7.4. .35.1. Here comes Dupree. Dupree flashes by. Whitaker still not up to speed. Dupree gets the lead back. Whitaker drops to 4th, as now you've got Turn 3 Racing and 2 New Lunar Republics and Cody Eldred a lap down running with those guys. So Paskowicz coming out of the pits now 2 laps down. Cody Eldred going a lap down. Bill Roberts, the last car on the lead lap now, in 11th. And he's in danger of going a lap down himself, as you see Isaiah Dupree flash by there.
Flash by them, yep.
So Dupree, Carter, and Graff now with almost 3 seconds. I'm sorry, 2.5 seconds to the good over Mike Whitaker. So the young gunners charging the pit entry cone a little bit harder than Whitaker was comfortable doing, and this is the outcome. As Gervais and Antonucci running side by side, this is your battle for 6th right now, with Antonucci in the red, white, and blue with the American flag on the helmet, and Gervais in the multicolored 6. Antonucci gets up in the marbles, has to let Gervais go. And this, had we been able to start when we were originally supposed to start, I think I wouldn't be as tired as I am right now. So I do like to apologize to everybody if you accidentally hear me yawn. It's not because I'm bored, it's because I've been going since 5 o'clock this morning, and it's now 11:02 p.m. local time. So to use a phrase that my grandfather used to use quite often, my eyes feel like 2 piss holes in the snow right now. But currently up in front, it's still a breakaway with the 3 former teammates, now pseudo teammates, if you will. You know, just running lockstep. You got to kind of wonder what's going to happen when all hell gets ready to break loose.
Yep, those 3 are good. 2 seconds almost flat ahead of Whitaker now in 4th place.
Well, the good news is also the bad news. We have not yet seen the money stop. As Robert Hill Jr. goes a lap down. So they have now lapped up to... Robert Hill Jr. is in 10th. And they've lapped all the way up to him. So that should tell you what kind of pace these guys are setting right now. Last lap, 18.372. So these guys are running qualifying laps in the race.
That is impressive. They all get up there and work together and just do the draft. They could probably cut that down some too. No real need at the moment though. They're doing extremely well right now.
True story. So while we are having not really a battle going on, these guys are just running lockstep because they haven't had the money stop yet. They're waiting for that, and then they're probably just going to, start throwing bombs at each other. You are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. Currently working Inside 50 to go. Make that 43 to go currently. With Dupree, Carter, Graff, Whitaker, Vickery, Carpenter, Gervais, Antonucci, and Mick Woods, the last car on the lead lap. Robert Hill Jr. rounding out your top 10. First car 1 lap down. So,
doing some good racing right now, I'll tell you what.
this is really what this league is all about, is, you know, guys working together to make sure that the laps stay green. Now, we're almost inside the fuel window. So, the question is, when do you take your money stop? You know, do you run this tank as long as you can and then just short pit the last stop? Or do you break it up evenly? And, you know, that's the question that these guys have to pretty much ask themselves. And I can just about guarantee that you're going to see Dupree, Carter, and Graff all go at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So,
it's all just a matter of when, which I don't know what would be the best route for that one.
It depends on what's going on around you. You know, if you have more than just your teammates, I would think that you would want to go off schedule of what everybody around you is doing. And, you know, the guy you kind of got to feel sorry for at this point in time is Isaiah Dupree, because chances are, once they realize that they're within, and there it goes.
There it goes, the pits. Yep.
Carter and Graff just hung Dupree out to dry. And they're going to try it from here. So they're going to short pit this one and then hope it stays green and see what happens from here. Isaiah Dupree looks like he's just going to run it until there's nothing left to run. As he works to the inside of Lacavara, Bob Lacavara giving him plenty of room. And he gets Carter and Graff a lap down. So he bought himself that buffer of one full lap. As they are back out of the pits, back up to speed. It's going to hand the lead of the race over to Whitaker. Let's take a look and see what type of stop Dupree's going to get now. He should be able to make it from here. 7.5 stop compared to a 6.7 and a 6.4 for Carter and Graff. And you see them right behind him. Looks like they're all going to come out about the same time. And they just picked each other back up. Meanwhile, up front, you got Mike Whitaker, Cody Eldred, and Kevin Pasquich running nose to tail. So, second place currently Tyler Vickery, 3.5 seconds back. David Gervais, 3.5 seconds back. Johnny Antonucci, Vickery's 3.5 seconds off Whitaker. Gervais 3.5 seconds off of Vickery. Johnny Antonucci is another 0.2 off of Gervais. And Robert Hill Jr. is almost 9 seconds back off of him. And that's your top 5. So there's 16 seconds that separate first to fifth. And there's only 6 cars right now on the lead lap. So if a caution were to come out, there would be a whole lot of drivers in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was some good moves.
So Eldred, the first car a lap down, now gets his lap back the hard way, as Whitaker lets him and Paskowicz kind of go. Paskowicz was 2 laps down, now 1 lap down. And I'm thinking Whitaker's looking to suck in behind these guys and just try to save some fuel. Currently 34 laps onto his fuel stint. And still extending that lead over Gervais. 6.5 seconds now.
We got contact on the wall. Looks to be Kevin. I think that was Kevin.
Paskowicz?
Yeah.
Looks like he was coming pit side. Yeah, that car is crabbing badly.
Yep. It looks like Kevin got into the wall. See what happened here.
Considering I don't see any close battles on the track. Here we are, Paskowicz going into turn number 1. Cody Eldred right in front of him. Looks like it might have just been aero push. Yep. Aero push gets out of the way of Whitaker, who's leading this thing. So the dreaded aero push bites Kevin Paskowicz. And Whitaker's in. Whitaker, Antonucci, Robert Hill Jr. all in. Bill Roberts stays out. Bill Roberts taking over the lead of the race 38 laps into his fuel stint.
Wonder if he's trying to give him that little bit of buffer zone. He'll probably pit next lap.
He's pitting right now. Should Bill Roberts get the stop he needs, if he can get a good pit stop here, Bill Roberts could get his first series win. And nope, there it goes. Isaiah Dupree flashes by.
Yeah, there goes Isaiah. Yep.
Damn.
Carter and Graff. 3 guys take lead again.
Yep.
3 amigos.
Even though Whitaker did have a better stop, he was a little too far back off these guys when the stops happened. Whitaker was 33.8, so that was the stop of the event for Whitaker. 6.3 in the box, 33.8 from entry to exit cone, and he's still 6 seconds off the pace.
Yellow flag is out.
No, we got a caution.
And that throws a monkey wrench into the works. Let's see what happened there. Mick Wood's pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. Let's take a look and see what happened with Mick. Just loops it. And, oh, he catches Gary Bauer. Oh, you got to feel for Gary. Yet again, caught up in someone else's dumpster fire. Here we are following with the chopper. Onto the back straightaway, comes up onto the track and just catches the apron in turn 3, and just Bauer's got nowhere to go. Just bang.
Yeah.
And that just completely shook up what's going on. Because instead of being 6 seconds to the good, Dupree, Carter, Graff now have to deal with Whitaker. And that's going to put Robert Hill Jr. back on the lead lap as he gets the lucky dog. So 9 cars on the lead lap now. Tyler Vickery, Mark Carpenter getting tires. You got to wonder if these top 3 are going to actually stay out. 16 laps to go. And and they are 17, 19, and 19 laps into their respective stints.
Oh, that's a close call because most of these guys we go right around that 40s when they start thinking about that pit.
Well, as we heard Tyler tell us earlier, he likes fresh tires here. And
Yeah,
Iowa has been known to be a tire-eating track. So, Dupree, Carter, Graff, Whitaker, Antonucci, Vickery, Carpenter, Robert Hill Jr., David Gervais in ninth, your last car on the lead lap. Bill Roberts, unfortunately, lost a lap in the pit. Yes, lost one lap in the pits there. So Bill Roberts, the first car, 1 lap down. Cody Eldred -2. Kevin Paskowicz -3 now. And Tony Rice, Mike Erder, Bob Lacavara, Chris Parkman, Mick Woods, Gary Bauer has retired. Nate Dean in 19th, the last car. No, I'm sorry, Nate Dean and Hoot Baker. I believe Hoot has retired, though, because he has been in the pits for 14 minutes. As we're currently watching Isaiah Dupree do his best imitation of Tony Stewart with playing bumper tag with the pace car.
One of my favorite things growing up was always seeing Dale Sr. play around with the pace car. One of my favorite things to watch throughout the race. That and, Dale winning.
You're not wrong. Too. Again, you're not wrong. So that's something that we can both agree on, that one of the greats, one of the greatest drivers to ever climb behind the wheel of a stock car, taken from us too early back in 2001.
Yeah.
The other name that comes to mind when I think of great stock car drivers that were taken from us entirely too early, who never really got a chance to, show us truly what they could do, would be Mr. Tim Richmond.
Yeah, I kind of remember him.
You're a little young to have been a Tim Richmond fan, but for those of us that grew up in the Northeast watching the Super Modifieds run, Timmy started in the Supers and then got the call up to go run for Rick Hendrick. And, had things played out differently, I dare say that Dale Sr. may not have won all 7 Winston Cups that he did.
It's very true. I remember my dad actually talking about him. That's how the name rings a bell.
Yeah.
My dad kind of liked him as well.
So, Isaiah Dupree, Creighton Carter, Tyler Graff, Mike Whitaker, Johnny Antonucci, Tyler Vickery, Creighton Carter, Mark Carpenter, Robert Hill Jr., Bill Roberts, Cody Eldred, your top 10. Green flag comes back out. We are 12 to go currently, as Isaiah Dupree dropping the hammer. Graff and Carter going side by side. Graff up into second, Carter back to third, and Mike Whitaker within striking distance now. And again, to borrow a phrase from my grandfather, old age and treachery will overcome youth and exuberance 90% of the time. And so my money right now is on Mike Whitaker punching his ticket into the IR05 chase tonight. As Isaiah Dupree continues to show the way, Whitaker still within striking distance. Tyler Vickery still within striking distance.
Righty.
We've now gone to the chopper, so we can see a little bit more of the dicing that's going on right now. As Vickery goes to the inside of Whitaker, definitely not something either one of them really needs to have happen right now. Vickery pushes up, has to back out of it. Whitaker able to keep it wound up on the high side. And there we go.
Yep. Lead man taken out.
What happened? Isaiah Dupree. I wasn't live. Just
been there today.
Caught. Wow. Hey, look, a pinata. So you see Tyler Graff flash to the inside, and I do apologize for not being live, but it actually kind of played out nicely here. So...
Oh, yeah, Tyler Graff just got up,
yep.
Started going up the track a little bit, and he started coming. Dupree started coming down.
So we see damage on Creighton Carter's car. Whitaker looks like he may have gotten through that cleanly. Let's back it up and see what's going on here. There's the contact. Dupree goes around. Whitaker just snakes his way through there. Holy cow. What a driving job. And Creighton Carter has a tweaked wing right now. You know, it's a good thing that iRacing hasn't figured out how to cut tires down yet, because the way that that upright is sitting, that if this was real life, as Bill Roberts gets back on the lead lap, you know, that would surely be a cut tire waiting to happen.
Man, that is... Now going back through Whitaker's view myself now.
But the question is, will we go back green? We're currently 5 to go. We may see a green and white come out at the same time. So this is going to be interesting. Whitaker has the fresh tires. Or fresher tires, let's put it that way. You know, Creighton Carter definitely caught a piece of that one. You see the right front wing on that car it basically looks like my fat ass fell on it. Whitaker was able to just snake his way through there. Tyler Vickery, by the skin of his teeth, was able to get through there. So it's going to be interesting to see, should we go back green, what's going to take place.
Mad dash with it being so close. Sure, I'm live now. It's probably a good thing to do.
True story. Now the thing is, if you're in Mike Whitaker's shoes, you almost have to gamble on the green. You know, you with so few laps to go, you can't not go. You have to. If we get a one lap shootout, you kind of have to just throw caution to the wind and say, F it, I'm going for it. You know, and it's because at that point it's 0 time.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be just an absolute mad dash.
So, would like to take a quick moment that if you do like the action that you've been seeing tonight, do remember to like, subscribe, and share. Also, if you want to get on the track with these guys, we do ask that you go ahead and, when the stream is done, and you go to the replay, go ahead and drop a comment below with your iRacing screen name. We'll get that passed along to the league admins and get you added to the Thursday Night Icebreaker Series, which is getting ready to start its 3rd season. I believe it's next week. As the lights are out on the pace car, we are going to have 2 to go when we go green. So we are going to get a green-white checker. And Creighton Carter going to the high side, as we've seen him do a couple of times already. This is where it gets interesting. So
it really all comes down to this one good, bad restart.
So you got to wonder. There it goes. Whitaker's asleep at the switch.
Green flag. Green flag.
He's going to have 2 laps to just drive the wheels off this car to try to reel in Creighton Carter. But he's got 2 hungry vultures behind him, Tyler Vickery and Robert Hill Jr.
Oh, man. They're all antsy right now.
As Hill Jr. goes to the inside of Vickery. White flag is out. Whitaker's going to have one final shot. Here we go into turn 3. Coming out of turn number 4. And Carter hangs on. Whitaker for second. Robert Hill Jr. for third. Vickery coming home in fourth. Antonucci able to hang on for fifth. Mark Carpenter in sixth. Tyler Graff in seventh. Bill Roberts eighth. Cody Eldred and Kevin Pasquich rounding out your top 10. So we are, as soon as I can figure out where the heck he is, Creighton Carter.
User was moved to your channel.
Creighton Carter, Tony up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Yeah.
So talk us through that last restart. You basically kind of had it timed just perfect.
Well, with 2 to go, it's kind of hard to mess that one up. The leader has such an advantage having the option there.
True
But
story.
That was fantastic.
Well, congratulations on, I believe this is your second win in the season so far.
Yes, it is. Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah, definitely, something to be proud of. You had a hell of a restart there. You caught Whitaker asleep at the switch, and I believe that you're just about, I believe that's going to put you into the points lead, if I'm not mistaken.
After drops, yes.
Yeah, but right now you're on the cusp of
starts, yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna need to really basically show up for every race remaining in the season.
Yeah, we'll have to make it.
So,
but it should be exciting when the chase rolls around.
Absolutely. So, congratulations on the win.
I feel like I kind of stole it there. I think Izzy pretty much had that one in the bag.
That was very disappointing. Yeah, that was one of those, and I'm not sure if you realized or not just how badly your front wing was damaged from that incident.
Yeah, I asked Tyler Vickery to come up and check it out, but he told me I was good. So,
well, I'm looking at it on the stream right now, and it looks like you ran into me.
Yeah, there you go. But, I told myself I was just going to drive it like it wasn't broken, and if it was, it was.
Well,
that's all you can do when you're leading like that.
One more lap, and I think Whitaker may have been able to cause a little more trouble for you.
Yeah, perhaps. But, with 2 to go, it's pretty much over.
Right. So, congratulations on the win, driving for New Lunar Republic and Motorsports Graphic Designs. Anyone else you want to thank tonight?
Whoever's on the car this week, I think it's the MGD Grand Prix. It's going to be starting up real soon, and CPC Productions, Aviator College, and everything like that. You can just read the car, I guess. I don't even know what I'm on here this week.
That's what I'm seeing on it. So we'll let you get back up and party with your team, sir. Again, congratulations on the victory, and you're going to need to start making some races, man.
Yep.
Or else it's going to be 2 wins on the season just thrown out the window.
All right, thanks.
User left your channel. Left your
channel. All right, so now we are looking for... Where the heck is he?
Couple of laps in order to do that.
Able to joining us now in the booth. Sorry for springing that on you like that, Mike, but it was a hard-fought race all the way, and you had to have been licking your chops when the second to last caution came out. And then talk us through you able to, because we saw the hell of a driving job you were able to snake your way through that melee that happened in front of you.
Yeah, I didn't really have a whole lot of time to think about that. It was just all reflexes, and I did miss it. I'm not really sure how.
Well, again, the third quote from my grandfather in this event, I'd rather be lucky than good any day, and you were definitely lucky to get through that one, because that had the possibility of ending poorly.
Yeah, you know, I 3 times tonight I had people hit the apron while they were underneath of me, and fortunately none of them hit me.
True story. As we saw a handful of them ourselves here.
I just wish that last run had been a couple of laps longer. 2 laps isn't really enough to get a run on somebody. Creighton did a good job on the restart. Taking the outside pretty much sealed the deal for him.
Well, that was something that we were talking about with Creighton, that because he had damage on his front wing. I'm not sure if you realize that or not, but and I said to him, I said, you know, if that race had gone another lap or at least one more lap, you may have been able to change the outcome of that event.
Yeah, I saw it on the laps that we did have. I knew I was making up ground on him, but I needed a couple more laps, and even then I would still have to get around him. But he did what he had to do, and it's a good win for him.
It was a good win for him, but definitely a good points day for you. As I believe that's, let me just unofficially here. Currently sitting 4th just on straight up points. It puts you, I believe that's going to move you ahead of Isaiah Dupree.
Yeah, Isaiah had a rough night.
Yeah, and you were tied coming in going with Kevin Paskowicz. So that should give you, just on points alone, that should give you 3rd place straight up.
It was a good night for the team, too. If I'm not mistaken, I think Johnny Antonucci had a good finish, too. He was only a spot or 2 behind me.
Was just about to point that out. The 4th member of Pinnacle Motorsports, Johnny Antonucci, able to come home with a top 5.
Even better.
So that puts.
Bill didn't actually do too bad either. He finished on the lead lap.
Yeah, you guys had all 3 cars that were actually in the event. You guys had all 3 of them in the top 10.
Well, Bob Lacavara was in too, so we had 4 in tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about Bob. I'm sorry. I forgot. Where did Bob finish?
Bob got swept up in somebody else's.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He got
a couple laps.
Yeah.
Yep. He was down 4.
Well, okay, so you had 3 of your 4 cars tonight in the top 10. So
yeah, I was kind of hoping that pit strategy on that last round was going to work for me, but by the time it cycled back around again, I was in the same spot I was before it started. So I stayed out longer than everybody else, and I actually didn't change tires. I did that whole last run on old tires.
Okay, so that would explain why you had to stop at the event with a 6.3 second, 3.6 second stop and a 33.8 on between cones. So yeah, that was the stop of the event.
Yeah, I probably gained a little track position, but I didn't gain any actual spots on the track. The only thing that helped me out was that last caution because it bunched everybody up.
Yes, it did. But, definitely, Mike, you had a hell of a job, a hell of a run going there. Congratulations to Pinnacle Motorsports for collecting max points tonight. Yes, max points, because Johnny Antonucci finished 2 spots ahead of Tyler Graff. So that would give you guys max the highest team points tonight.
Well, great. That's good for everybody then.
Absolutely.
Did you guys actually notice that I changed my paint job just a little bit?
I did notice some other things going on there.
It's sort of a Halloween blend. I played with my usual pattern, and I got it as close to orange and black as I could.
I was thinking that was what was going on because it seemed like it was a little different colors. So, but definitely, Mike, congratulations, and we'll let you get back up into the post-race drivers meeting.
Okay, thank you. Thanks to all my fans.
User was moved out of your channel.
And let's see what we got going on here. There he
User
is.
was moved to your channel.
Second podium in a row. Last night at Texas, tonight at Iowa. Mr. Robert Hill Jr.
Man, that was fun.
It looked like you were having fun out there. You had a little bit of a trouble early.
Yeah, we I don't remember who I was running behind. The 20 maybe. He was right behind Eldred, and there was a bit of a mess there. We went flying up in the air, flipped over, was able to drive it back to pit road, get it repaired, and we only went one lap down, so it wasn't too bad. Battled back and did pretty good.
Well, definitely congratulations on the second podium for you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Talk us through that last restart. What was going through your mind, knowing that you had to get by Tyler Vickery to pull it off?
The big thing going through my mind was I had to get a good restart. Had to kind of get a good jump on it, I knew if I could get to the inside of him into one, we could probably beat him off two and work our way around. But it just all worked out, and it was perfect.
All right. Well, I've been noticing that you have been running with Team 3 Musket Beers as of late. Is there any chance of you joining that team as a solid member anytime soon?
I'm looking for a team right now. I'm a free agent, just working my way around, and Cody let me join his channel tonight just to have some other voices, but it's definitely an option and something we're looking at for sure.
All right. Well, yeah, definitely. If a team out there is looking for, to bring on a full-time driver, you're definitely been showing that you can handle yourself in the heat of the crop.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So, congratulations again. Let me pull up the standings here and see what if there's anything else we need to do. Bear with me one moment while I do so. No, that's about gonna do it. So, Robert, we'll let you get back up in the post-race drivers meeting, and looking forward to seeing you Monday actually back here Sunday if you can make it in the DW12s.
Yeah, I should be here.
All right, sir. So we'll see you Sunday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
So, only one thing left to do, and I need to find out where the hell he went.
User was moved to your channel.
So, joining us now, gentleman that finished in 7th place. Now, we noticed that on the side of Creighton's car tonight, there was a logo for a new league that's starting up. And Tyler Graff, I believe you got some information on that for us.
Yeah, the logo is on Creighton, Izzy, and what's his name, Nate's car tonight. Basically, starting hopefully early December, we're doing it's an 11-season road course series under the ISL sanctioning, I guess would be the right word, and 11 different tracks, 11 different road courses, and then in the middle of the season we have the Golden Coast Challenge, which is 3 different kinds of road courses on in all tracks in California. So we got a Roval, a street course, and just a normal road course at Laguna. And it's all fixed setup. Setups are being done by myself and Terry at the moment. So the setups will be good and sticky, and so far the recruitment races have been pretty competitive as far as road course racing goes. So.
Yeah, and what night of the week are you guys looking to do that on?
I think we're aiming for Saturdays right now.
All right, so the one night of the week that I actually like to go do things.
we were gonna do Fridays, but that's ISL, official ISL stuff, or other ISL stuff. That'd be almost 4 nights in a row, with Tuesday nights, the practices on Wednesday, the Pro Mazdas, and then that. So we figured we'd have a day off if anybody was running every single one of them.
What's running Friday?
Nothing. We would be the 4th thing in a row if it was running Friday.
Fair enough.
Just to give people a day off in between, and
now it would be 5 nights in a row with the Paskies Cardiac Truck League starting up.
Oh yeah, there was a recruitment race for that last night.
That'll be 5 nights in a row that this league would be having its hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, doing a lot of racing.
I'm doing a lot of racing, and like I was telling Robert earlier, went to go put my wheel on my desk last night, and why the hell isn't this thing tightening down? Come to find out, I stripped the bolt.
Ouch.
So I bought a new one at work today, and as soon as we're done with this broadcast, I'm going to bed. So I was planning on trying to run a dirt race tonight, but that's not going to happen. So you guys are planning that on Saturday nights. Tyler, congratulations for rebounding after that early incident there, or late race incident. We saw you kind of get into it with Isaiah.
Yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Exactly it. It's an oops. There's 7 laps to go, and you got to try something. And I went low. We were all on old tires because we short stopped, and
we saw that.
Slid up and I bobbled just a tiny bit. Without the bobble, we would have gotten away with it. But
yeah. Or as I like to refer to it on occasion, you stepped on your own junk.
Yeah, but in a sense to where I didn't even have a chance to really do anything about it, unfortunately.
True story, but
I hate it. I hate it so much for Isaiah. He wanted that win.
Well, some quick stats for you guys.
He raced me. Sorry.
Some quick stats for you guys. Isaiah Dupree, most laps led, 66 laps. Yeah.
Awesome.
And only two drivers had a clean race tonight. Congratulations to Primary League sponsor Bill Roberts for being the highest finisher of the clean drivers. Second driver to get a clean race, Mike Erder, coming home in 12th.
Very cool.
Fastest lap of the race. Anybody want to take a guess who?
Creighton?
No.
Isaiah?
No. The winningest driver in ISL League history, Mr. Christopher Parkman, with an 18.161. So showing that he can get it done. The only thing is just having a couple of dumpster fires happen to him. 230 laps completed, 10 cautions for a total of 50 laps, 17 lead changes. I believe that's going to do it tonight. You have been watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com IndyCar Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT fields for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com. Be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. On behalf of Mr. Joe Morganti over in Race Control, welcome back to the league, and thank you for race controlling tonight. For our new broadcast partner, Mr. Robert Payne, I'm Tony Trapasso saying we will see you Sunday night back here in the DW12s as we do it all over again.
All righty.